Hello, all you cosmic creatures out there. How are you? And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Gabby. Hello. I'm an intuitive empath. I'm a cosmic being, a star seed, a light worker. No matter how I identify myself as, I'm just a soul, a crystal being, a cosmic star that is dust. I'm basically cosmic star magic living in a human vessel, coded as Gabby. I'm just another essence of energy that volunteered to come here, to come and help awaken the mass collective. So if you like my channel, give it a thumbs up, like it, share my video with your friends, and this is my warm welcome to you guys. Mwah! Thank you for coming and checking me out. Today I want to touch base on clear audience. Have you ever experienced hearing a voice and something touching you? I know I have. I have heard a child, not just a child, but I want to talk about the child right now. I've heard a child say, "Mommy." I've heard a child whisper, and then I felt somebody kind of touch my face or stroke my head or touch my hair, and it felt like they were stroking it or touching my head. I don't know, but that I hear, and then I feel like this really soft, gentle touch. Spirit tries to get our attention in many, many ways, and this used to scare the shit out of me, but I'm no longer scared. You know, it's kind of just like a lost person stopping you and asking you for directions or saying good morning. You know, they're just different. They're not in a third dimensional, vessel. They're you. They're not human, but they're a soul. And in essence, you're a soul. You're in a avatar, a vessel. So they're just like you. They're not driving a vessel anymore. So spirit tries to get our attention in many, many, many different ways. You know, touch is a way that they try to get our attention. And sometimes they get our attention by a fragrance, maybe flowers or a perfume or cigar smoke. You know, how if it's somebody in your family and you identified them as Uncle Tommy, he always smoked a Cuban cigar, and then all of a sudden you smell cigars. Maybe that's your Uncle Tommy. Um, Maybe your grandmother cooked this amazing cornbread or something, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're just sitting in your living room watching TV, and you just smell your grandmother's cornbread, and you're like, what is that smell? Or you smell Aunt Joan's perfume. I don't know. Some of these people, it could be your family members, and they're trying to reach out to you, and they're trying to get your attention through smell, because smell is something that you recognize and kind of, oh, it's the word I'm looking for. That that way to get your attention, to help you put the pieces together, to be like, oh yeah, Uncle Tommy used to smoke cigars, and so Uncle Tommy is, pushing out, the energy of cigar smoke to get your attention. So you smell it, he's got your attention, and he used cigar smoke, so he's hoping that you put the pieces together and say, Uncle Tommy, is that you? Now, touch is another way. Words are a way of them reaching out to you. Sounds are a way of them reaching out to you. Feelings, like the feeling of a presence near you, and just random signs, maybe like pennies or feathers or a certain song on the radio. There are so many other ways and signs that spirits, use to reach out to you. But these are the most common ways. When I'm waking up, if I'm relaxing or if I'm just waking up in the morning, or, from a nap, and hear spirit's voice, sometimes I can't move or speak. And this is because you're coming out of the astral realm. You were astral traveling. Many people hear all kinds of noises. They might hear a loud roar, such as just like noise. I don't even know how to explain it. They're just like woom, woom, or wom, or just like weird. Don't laugh at me. They're just like weird noises. Some people may even hear loud white noise at the very start of, the spirit starting to separate from the body as you're going into astral travel, and sometimes as you're coming back into the body as well. Other common reported symptoms are temporary paralysis. I've experienced this one time in my life, and it was after my husband experienced it. And when he experienced it, I laughed at him because I was like, how can you be awake, have your eyes open, and not be able to lift your arm up or say anything? I was just like, you're dreaming. So like a year later, or maybe 2 years later, I don't know. It was a long while after he had his experience that I experienced it, and I remember laying in bed and I was on my back and I was just like, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move. I think maybe my finger could twitch, but other than that, I couldn't get up. It didn't last long, but it was long enough to be like, yo, what the fuck is going on with me? I'm like, am I dead? But it's like I could see everything in the room and I just couldn't move. And then all of a sudden my body released and I had like this movement, this jump. And other symptoms is tingling in the body or a racing heartbeat. That is what I experience when I'm waking up, especially from a very vivid dream or a nightmare. I have like my heart is racing, I'll feel sweaty, and my body feels like just like a tingling sensation, like the feeling you get just before your arm or leg falls asleep. Once you start to process of all of of this going into astral travel, once you start to process, you may start to hear other beings speak to you. And this is not just astral travel. This, you can experience these symptoms when you're in deep meditation. You can experience other beings speak to you as you are now able to access other frequencies that are usually not perceived when you are wide awake, because your mind, it's like monkey brain, your mind is like too busy. Now, I've had people ask me, does this mean I'm a medium because I can hear spirit and other beings? I could see them. I'm experiencing them. A medium is someone who is able to communicate with spirit in the spirit world. And I always tell people, we are divine beings. We're all mediums. We're all psychics. We are all intuitive. We are all empathic. It's just some of us are more aware of it than others. So, yes, this may be considered a form of mediumship for you. You're opening up a divine spiritual gift that you forgot you even had. Most people think of a medium as someone who can connect to the spirit world while in a, in the awakened state, so that they can relay messages back and forth. And really all they are is a channeler. They're channeling, and then they're able to relay messages. They're very well connected and channeling. And anybody can do it with a little spiritual practice. Get your intuitive muscles stronger and anybody can do it. That medium is called a receiver and a channeler. I said channeler a second ago, but ultimately they're a receiver because they're receiving messages that they're able to channel out. They are receiving a message to be delivered to someone. We all have this ability to receive, but most of us have, again, monkey minds, and we're too busy to quiet down our minds. We're too anxious. We're too caught up in reality that, we don't even realize that we're so extremely gifted. It is absolutely possible to train to open your abilities to higher levels so that you can connect to spirits when you want to and converse with them in a more controlled way rather than hearing a voice when falling asleep. I work on developing my psychic abilities so that I can perceive and converse with loved ones that are in spirit and spirit guides, higher beings like angels, ascended masters, and multi-dimensional beings. And meditation is key, because meditation centers you. It brings you to a quieter mindset. Even if you decide that you don't want to take your abilities to a higher level, hearing voices when falling asleep is not uncommon these days. The veil has lifted. There is no more veil. It's lifted. So a lot of things are happening, and a lot of people are having a lot of paranormal experiences because the veil has lifted. Again, there is no more veil anymore. It has lifted. I believe it's all a part of this ascension shift that we're currently going through, and becoming more intuitive and open is one of the effects of the energy shifts on this planet, on Gaia. Now, if your mediumship or psychic abilities are opening up, you might notice that you snuggle up in your pajamas and you close your eyes and you start to see random faces. And they might not even be human faces. You might be thinking that you're making this up. You're not, but this is you. This is multi-dimensional. You are divine. Never forget that. You're divine, okay? So you might start seeing these random faces and places and objects, geomagnetic, oh my God. See what I mean with this forgetful stuff? Geometric, you might see symbols. Just a side note here, you guys. I have a massive headache. It's like right here. It hurts so bad that I feel like I'm hot. I'm not hot. I'm not running a temperature, but I feel like I'm on fire. Um, I'm in a tank top, and it's February. It's freezing outside, and I'm in New York. Yes, I'm a Boston fan. Go Patriots! Tomorrow's the Super Bowl. Anyways, I had to sidebar for a second because I noticed that I forget a lot of stuff. And we're currently in a geomagnetic solar storm. We're experiencing it right now. And I just did a video on this a couple days ago. And I'm still being affected by the side effects. And I thought that my headaches and everything were already done. And this, I've already experienced the storm. Either we're getting another one, or this geomagnetic storm is actually pretty strong, and it's really, really affecting me, because not even ibuprofen or Tylenol will take away my headache. And so to think kind of hurts. But what I'm trying to tell you is you guys might see symbols and objects or numbers, colors, shapes, or scenes in your mind's eye, which is your third eye. And it's like kind of like you have a TV in your brain, in your head, and it just won't turn off. And it's kind of like a silent film. You just kind of see these like little pictures go by. At least for me, that's how it looks for me. I see random pictures go by, and sometimes I feel like I'm traveling through a vortex. And as I'm traveling, these multi-dimensional beings are on the sides of these vortex, and they just kind of peek their head through the vortex and look at me like they recognize me. And I remember when I first had these experiences, and I have a friend that is a pretty seasoned medium, and she says, "Gabby, you're astral traveling." And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. You ever seen the movie Avatar, and those beings are blue? Well, I seen beings similar to those beings, but they were purple. And they kind of looked like cats, and they had whiskers and the cat ears. And then I seen other just random beings that I can't even explain to you what they look like. And then I just seen eyes. I seen yellow eyes, all different color eyes. And I see shapes. I see a lot of colors. And it's an amazing journey once you're on it. You might even hear voices or other random strange noises. You might even hear whispers or sounds. And this may also be happening when you're in a meditative state, or anytime that you feel very super duper relaxed. And when you see this stuff, if you're seeing it for the first time, it can make you feel either curious, scared, or it can even make you feel annoyed or anxious. I don't know. You'll feel something. A lot of people, I was kind of curious and I was kind of weirded out at the same time, but I never got annoyed by it. I just always, if annoyance is asking yourself, why am I seeing this? Then maybe I was a little annoyed, but actually that sounds like it's curious. Why am I seeing this? That's like a curious question, action, right? Yeah. Again, I'm going to blame it on the headache. It's the shift. I'm going to blame it on the shift. It's the shift's fault that I am forgetful and kind of like, woo, ditzy. It's not the blonde hair, you guys. Um, I'm normally like this. You either love me or you don't. So at this point, you might be asking, Gabby, why? Why do I see and hear spirit when I fall asleep? Well, first, you should know that this is really, really, really common, especially if you're feeling called to work with your gifts. If you're feeling called to um, heal people, to teach spiritual enlightenment or awakening, or if you feel called to read about like Edgar Cayce or Nostradamus, or I mean, if you're watching this video, apparently you're feeling called because you wouldn't be here if you didn't hear the call. Curiosity, that's how the call comes through. Curiosity, that's why you're here watching this video right now. Honestly, I really can't remember the very, very first time that this has happened to me. I mean, because it's happened to me so many times, that when I drift off to sleep, I see the face of random people, like I just spoke about, that I've never met. And I'll see people, I Google stuff, and I was reading about the Hopi prophecy because the Naughty Beaver talked about it a lot on his channel, so it just piqued an interest for me. And when I Googled it, it showed pictures of the Hopi people. And I was like, whoa, I see the faces of those people when I close my eyes sometimes. It's trippy, you guys. So I'll see the faces of random people that I've never met, strangers, creatures, colors, shapes, in my mind's eye. But I can tell you why this is happening. I'll tell you why this is happening. One, it's happening because your clairvoyance and your clairaudience, they're opening up. If you're seeing spirit at bedtime, your clairvoyance is your vision, your clairvoyance, it is opening up. If you're hearing spirit at bedtime, your clairaudience is opening up. If you're specifically seeing spirit faces, your mediumship gifts may be opening up, and that's cool. That's like, to me, that's awesome to have that opening up, because I've always asked like mediums, like, how did you get to this point to be able to receive and channel so well? And if you're going through this is how they got to that point. This is the opening point. These are all very wonderful intuitive gifts to have. So if this is happening to you, yay! So you might be asking me, Gabby, why does this only happen to me at nighttime, but struggle with my intuitive gifts during the daytime? You're like, why am I so gifted only at night? Well, in a nutshell, it's easiest for spirit to connect with you because when you're relaxed or in a relaxed state of mind, you are not resisting. That's why meditating is so very important. You want to develop your psychic or mediumship abilities when you're able to quiet your mind and slow your brain down. If you're having trouble with meditation, try a guided meditation. And when I first did my first meditation, I searched for a guided meditation on YouTube, and I just kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until I picked something that resonated with me. So you may want to just try that. Or Another easy way to meditate and quiet your mind is to find somewhere that's quiet and just sit and don't think of anything. Don't think about your bills. Don't think about your job. Don't think about your husband or wife or kids. Don't think about a conversation that you had last night with your girlfriend. Just, if those thoughts start to come through, recognize them, but just say, nah, not right now, thought. Go away. I'm busy. I'm meditating. And just start to breathe. Listen to your breath. That is the most easiest thing that you could do, is listen to your breath. Listen to it rise, listen to it drop, and then just keep doing that. And once you start focusing on your breath, pictures will start to come into your mind. Because at the beginning of all of this, learning how to work with your divine spiritual gifts, your psychic abilities, resistance is the biggest struggle in the very beginning. And this happens when you feel doubt or fear about your abilities. You find it hard to trust the information that you get when you give a reading or do practice exercises. And I just posted a practice exercise maybe less than a week ago, and I'm gonna post more because actually people really like them. So I'm happy, and I'm gonna do more so you guys can practice and work that intuitive muscle and make it stronger. But and also, I just want another sidebar here. Some people do email me and ask me if I'll do a reading for them, and I don't, because the only time I channel is when I receive, and when I receive is when I give out the information that I'm receiving. But I've never tried channeling and receiving information by being asked. I still have a fear. I don't want to give out the wrong information, and I have a fear that if I don't get anything that comes through, that I don't know. I really don't know what my fear is. I feel like I don't want to disappoint you guys and let you down. So I too have to work on these things. But I do get the information. It comes in, and sometimes when I'm replying to an email, spirit guides, your guides, my guides, angels, my ascended masters, they'll come through and they'll tell me something, and I'll type it in, or I'll get a strong urge, or I'll feel something, and I go with what I'm feeling or hearing or seeing, and I relay the message. And so far I have it's resonated with everybody that I've done it to. But I'm gonna try to channel for people that I don't know by just asking me off a whim. But I need a little bit more time. I need to go into meditation and ask my guides if this is the right time for me to do that. And when it is, I'll let you guys know, and then I'll pick a few people and ask them to email me and help me practice with them if you guys are up to it. If you guys are up to it, give me a thumbs up in the comments below. So you may experience doubt and fear and stuff like that, just like I do. I do tarot, and I do angel card readings, and I do past life readings. And I usually just do them on me, and I do them on my family and some of my closest friends. And I've done it on a few strangers. I've done it in my Facebook group, and I've taken an hour out of my day. Did you guys hear that? How ironic is this? I'm doing a video on clear audience and psychic abilities, and it sounded like somebody said Gabe, and it sounded like they said it upstairs, and I'm home alone. This is weird. Every time I do a video, you guys, I don't edit this part out. I always keep it so you guys can see the strange that goes on in my life. Anyways. Anyways, what you need to do is you need to let go of resistance. When you let go of resistance, you allow yourself to be fully relaxed like you are during meditation. And this is something that I'm working on as well. The resistance of fear to do readings for people. Okay, so moving on. I have been asked questions like, I want to get some sleep, but I can't sleep because I keep hearing these voices. Will this ever go away? Yes, absolutely, it will go away. You can learn to control your gifts by working with your guides, and you can do this through meditation. A lot of the times, I just tell people to tell, whatever's bothering them, stop, go away, not right now. I don't want to do this right now. And they listen. For me, they've listened. There's been times when I'm like, okay, I know I got to wake up early in the morning tomorrow, and I don't have time for you guys to chatter in my head tonight. I need you guys to all be quiet and allow me to go to sleep. And just like that, they're gone. In the past, what has worked for me was falling asleep with the TV on. I don't do this anymore because TV is so bad for you. Don't fall asleep with the TV on. It is not good for your energy field. Not just your energy field, but it's not good for your mind. The TV has so many subliminal messages that is brainwashing you when you're sleeping. You don't want that. You just don't sleep with the TV on. It's not healthy for you guys. Just please trust me when I tell you this. TV is poisonous. Now, I watch TV, yes. Okay, I know it's bad for you, and there's it lies and tells you stuff, but I get hooked to Netflix, and I like watching series and stuff like that. I don't watch the news. I stay away from the news. I don't get involved in all that, but I do like, Game of Thrones, and I like watching certain series on TV. I enjoy watching a few programs here and there. I just don't do it while I'm falling asleep. You know what else worked for me? Listening to the radio falling asleep. I love listening to the radio falling asleep. And I know radio is kind of like the TV, but I don't listen to that new stuff, that new music, that new age music that you can't understand. I don't listen to vulgar crap. I like freestyle music. I like old 80s rock, soft rock. I like love music, jazz. But I don't listen to that anymore because then I'll be like, oh, that's my song. And now I can't fall asleep because I'm singing the words to that song in my head. So I don't do that anymore either. So I bought a very comfortable pair of headphones and I listen to binaural beats when I fall asleep, or like meditation, calming music when I fall asleep. And it helps me relax. And I really enjoy that. So if you guys really want to relax and heal, binaural beats, they are amazing. Just type it in the Google search and, listen to different binaural beats. And you know what? They have some binaural beats for people that have very bad migraines. And oh my God, they work. They work. They work. Try it. Please try it. I think I'm going to do it after this video because my headache is still like right here. It's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh God, I know I got to wrap up this video soon just so I can just relax my head. What else? Not only do I listen to the binaural beats when I'm going to sleep, my husband bought this really awesome clock and it makes like ocean sounds, thunder sounds, chirping birds. So we listen to the ocean sounds or thunder or rain. Those are the three that I like. Thunder, rain, and the ocean to fall asleep at night. So yeah, you can use those options. Sleeping with the TV on works. It does, but it's not the best option. So, if you're a highly intuitive person, don't sleep with the TV on, even though it's comforting sometimes. Psychic development tip number 2, astral noise. Astral noise. Some people believe that these experiences happen by accident. Okay, those are the people that are still sleeping. They're not awake, they're not enlightened, and they don't care. What they're hearing is just astral noise, or it's not astral noise, it's just noise, and spirits are not trying to connect with you. Why would that be a possibility? Well, let me tell you guys. First and foremost, you are spiritual beings. So why wouldn't it happen for you guys? You're a freaking divine spiritual, you're like a little godling. You are a fractal of God. God made you. A God made you. Something non-human created you. Something that had created everything that is in your life, everything that is around you, everything that your eyes see, your eyes alone. were created by something that is unexplained. That unexplained something that made you, you carry that within yourself, within your DNA. So if God created you, you're like a little godling. And some people believe that the reason we need sleep is to reconnect with the spirit world. Could this be true? Well, maybe. We all need sleep. I mean, we need sleep physically because we are physical right now. So you have to take care of this avatar that you're in. So you definitely need to rest it because it's full of blood and skin and cells and organs and, things like that needs to be rested and recharged so it can work again in a couple hours. Many people, myself included, have had experiences of astral travel. So I know that these things exist. And some people ask, when they see spirit or hear spirit, they ask, is this a spirit or is it not a spirit? What is this that I'm seeing? What is this that I'm experiencing? Well, let's find out. You can try these exercises to know for sure. And to do it, you need to meditate for at least 20 minutes a day. And while you're in meditation, you have to be in meditation for a little bit of time. So you want to give it at least 20 minutes. So while you're in meditation, if you start sensing spirit, ask them. Ask them questions. Ask them questions like, who are you? What's your name? Why are you here? And if you ask questions and if you find a two-way communication taking place between you and the spirit, it could be a guide, it could be an angel, it could be a loved one, it could be a multidimensional being, then you know it's not by accident. You know that spirit is detecting your beautiful shining light and is able to communicate with you. Have you ever heard music in your head when you are going to sleep at night? Or something that sounds like music? For example, when you're laying in bed, getting ready to fall asleep, have you ever heard what sounds like soft tones or frequencies, maybe even voices or singing as if it's, far, far away in the distance? Also, when you close your eyes to meditate or perhaps sleep, I just talked about sleep, do you ever hear a low, like a pleasant humming noise emanating from, I don't know, somewhere within yourself, your head, your body, a frequency, all on its own, like its own little music? Have you ever heard any of that? You might have mistaken both of these sounds or all of those sounds for normal ear ringing or something like what's that ear ringing called? Tinnitus. In some cases, it could very well be that it is tinnitus. If you hear these things and you go to the doctors and they tell you your ears are fine and everything is good, then it's not tinnitus. Then what is it? What's going on? In a lot of cases, however, that is not what it is. It's not tinnitus, especially if you are a spiritual seeker. In fact, the more you seek, the more you are likely to hear these sounds. Understand that while these sounds will continue to exist, whether you understand them or not, they are also an offering. And if you accept this offering, utilizing the sound as it is meant to be utilized, you will have the potential to attain incredible consciousness expansion. The Buddha spoke about these sounds, calling them the sounds that are far and near. He says that these tones and frequencies and even music are divine or heavenly, and that they are also a means by which we can attain enlightenment. The far sound of which he speaks of is the divine sound, and the near is the human sound. However, just because the second is human does not mean it isn't also spiritual and or divine. In the passage, the Buddha is separating the sounds by origination, not value. The divine sound comes from the source or God, while the human sound comes from within us, we who are also divine. Many people hear the sound in the form of music, and that's how it is for me. I hear it in the sound of music. It's very faint, often heard at night or in utter silence. Like it's so quiet, and then all of a sudden I hear these sounds. And it's the sounds of a symphony. It's so weird. And I even hear singing. Like sometimes I hear what sounds like opera. Sounds like opera, not Oprah. It sounds like opera. And sometimes I hear like old Western music that they would have played in the early 1900s. Um, Sometimes I hear a choir. Sometimes it sounds like a choir of angels. This is the music of the spheres. This is so weird, you guys. And just a really, really, really quick history. Another sidebar. I live in Western New York. I live in the country. I don't really have neighbors. The neighbors I have is the marina, and I live where tourists come to go fishing. So it's a big fishing spot where I live. So the next door is like it's a gas station slash store slash bait shop, and it's the only gas station uh, within 15, 20 miles. And across the street, where I live is a lot of old history that dates back to the early 1800s. And across the street was a place called the Two Bridges Hotel, and it used to be a doctor, the farrier, the brothel, the bar, um, the general store, a whole bunch of things in one building. And also it was a hotel. So people traveled from far away. They would switch their horses, get their horses rested and fed, and they would be able to sleep, eat, and then, buy stuff, drink beer, and hang out with women and get their brothel on. So there was dancing, there was music, there was women, and sometimes I hear that music that would have played back in those days in the brothel house. That's crazy, right? I'm tapping in. I'm tapping into what's going on across the street. It's like an echo of time. So I'm hearing music of the spheres. By spheres, what is meant is dimensions. I'm hearing music of the dimensions. Dimensions, like all other things, consists of energy, some denser, some finer, or more subtle. The energy of dimensions is moving around, forming and unforming things. And in doing so, it emits a signal. This signal is the sound, and it can be picked up all around us because it's all around us all the time. As a spiritual seeker, or if you're a spiritual seeker, we should train ourselves to hear this sound more often and more clearly. And when we can locate it, or when we do locate it, we must follow the sound. The far sound emanates from and reverberates back to the divine, or that which we would call God. And we can literally follow the flow of the sound back to source. The closer we are to source, the more enlightened we become. Does that make sense? The secret to your training is to not chase the far sound when you hear it, but to be with it instead, to locate it and hook it in. And then once you hook it in, stay with it. Stay with it meditatively as it flows and moves and flows. Go with the flow. Maybe that's where that saying came from. Go with the flow. Doing this will take you to what Buddha called the consummation and perfection of direct knowledge. Now, the inner sound, on the other hand, is also something that we should seek to hook into. It is a tool especially suited for consciousness and dimensional travel and experience. Meaning, if you work with your near sound, learning to meditate with it to go deeper or higher, you have the opportunity at some point to travel and experience interdimensionally. This too is a form of direct divine knowledge. The sun is coming in and starting to hit me in the face, so I'm starting to blur out. Now, the thing that I want people to understand is that the sound is everywhere, and it's like a superhighway. It's a superhighway leading to incredible spiritual and energetic experiences. And we all have access to it. Every single one of us have access to it because we're all divine. It's just that we are often too busy, too stressed, too overworked to hear anything. Our monkey brain, too busy to hear anything. Countless opportunities for enlightenment and expansion are missed entirely because we are simply not paying attention. Start paying attention. You're divine. This is the number one reason so many of us feel disconnected, because we are not observing. We are not looking. Therefore, we are not finding. It is as simple as that. Here is the truth. Here's the truth, you guys. You were born with everything that you need to connect with, experience, and to receive messages from spirit. You don't need to go to a priest or to a psychic or to a healer in order to make contact. You have all the connective parts right within and without you. You simply must train yourself to notice and then to use them. You can start today by acquainting yourself with the far and the near sounds and learning to use them. Get rid of the fear and quiet yourself down and go within. For now, to everyone that is watching this video, I ask that you simply just pay attention. Tonight, while everything is silent, when everybody goes to sleep and you're in bed, beneath the covers, try to hear the far frequency. Try to see if you can hear that far frequency, the tones, the music. It'll be there because it's always there. Key in on the sound, and when you do, stay with it. Stay with it for as long as you can without falling asleep. Stay with it and kind of like enjoy it. But not kind of like enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. But you know what I mean. Stay with it so that you can enjoy it. Also, perhaps during meditation today, or also when you're in bed, go inward and search for the tone to your near or inner sound. Your only task right now is to locate these sounds and to stay with them. If you can do this, you are on your way to living an enlightened and spiritually gifted life, because it truly is gifted. You truly are gifted. And please, if you like this video, share your experiences down below. If you try any of these things and you watch this video today and you have this experience tonight, please come back to this video and share your experiences. And if your experiences were kind of personal, you can email me. My email is in the description area below, touch.by.11.angels@gmail.com. If you have any other questions for me, you can also leave them down below. If I don't get to them right away, I will definitely get to them. But I'm building a little community here, so other people may chime in and answer your questions. Even if they do, I will still chime in and answer the way I know how, the best way I know how. And again, if your questions are confidential or personal, you can absolutely email me. I got people emailing me all the time. If I don't get back to you right away, just know it's because I have so many other things that I'm doing within a day. I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I'm just a busy person. So if you email me and I don't get back to you, right away, just know I'm doing, or maybe I'm uploading a video. If I'm uploading a video, I can't check some of my emails because I have like 3 different email addresses, and my main one I keep on my phone, and the Touched by 11 Angels, I don't have that one on my phone. So just give me some time, and I will definitely return the courtesy to get back to you. Also, if you'd like to donate, a karmic currency, you could do that by donating on my PayPal. My PayPal information is down below. If you don't want to donate karmic currency, you can donate your time. I love time energy. It's the best donation ever. Time energy. You guys can email me, you can write me a letter to get involved, and I love it. I love anything, you guys. Just acknowledgement. It takes time to acknowledge. By you watching this video and giving me a thumbs up, that's time right there, and I appreciate it. I do. And if you're interested in a numerology reading, you can also email me and say, hey, Gabby, I'm interested in a numerology reading. The cost is $11.11. It's actually just an energy exchange, and everything that I read and send you in the report is listed down below in the description area. Thank you for watching this video. Again, please share your experience. If any of these things that I spoke about today has happened to you already, if you experience any of these clear audience things like hearing your name or somebody talking to you or touching you, or if you've seen spirit or witnessed something paranormal in your house, share your experience. I want to hear about it. Sending you guys lots of love and lots of light.